With the help of Sister Miriam Joseph, we're going to think about the Trivium. We're going to think about logic, grammar, and rhetoric, specifically grammar. We're also going to be thinking about the semiotic triangle with the sign, interpreted, and object signified. So one aspect to grammar deals with the use of symbols, as you shall see. So first off, let's define logic, grammar, and rhetoric. Sister Miriam Joseph defines logic as the art of reasoning. She defines grammar as the art of inventing and combining symbols. Notice this key term, symbols. And she defines rhetoric as the art of communication. Now, there's a relationship between language and reality here, where logic is concerned with the thing as it is known, according to Sister Miriam Joseph, and grammar is concerned with the thing as it is symbolized, and rhetoric is concerned with the thing as it is communicated. Now notice that doing rhetoric well requires knowing both logic and grammar. So in that sense, logic and grammar can be thought as prerequisites to rhetoric, or at least good rhetoric. Now with grammar comes phonics and spelling. So with phonics, we're dealing with the sounds to form spoken words correctly. With spelling, we're thinking about letters formed together so that something is written correctly. But this idea of speaking something in a correct manner or spelling something in a correct manner means that the liberal arts are normative. That's because we're dealing with practical studies. Moreover, it's about bringing oneself in conformity with certain standards. The standards to spell well, the standards to pronunciate things correctly, and so forth. So in this sense, grammar goes with correctness. Rhetoric goes with effectiveness. We want to effectively communicate with someone, and logic should go with truth. Now notice that from the traditional perspective, we don't just care about validity, we should care about, more fundamentally, what in fact is true. So sometimes in modern logic, they will focus more on validity, just following the rules of logic, versus what in fact is true. Now in general, the function of language is to communicate. As Sister Miriam Joseph tells us, it's generally to communicate thought, volition, and emotion. But let's think about then the means of communication. Now with the means of communication, we can engage in imitation on the one hand, and on the other hand, we can use symbol. Now, a symbol can be related to a natural sign or a conventional sign. And that conventional sign might be temporary or more or less permanent. We also can think about special symbols and common symbols. So common symbol would be the symbols of English or Chinese. Special symbols would be things that come from mathematics or chemistry. Now, in terms of communication, imitation is very limiting, and it's not very economical. I can show you a series of pictures, and you can get something from them, for sure. But with symbol, I could be more economical in my communication, and I could talk about generalization and universal truths that I can't with mere pictures, so to speak. But there's another aspect to this, and that is matter versus form. Now, a word has matter and form. The matter is the mark, the notation, or maybe the sound if I'm just saying the word, whereas the form is really the meaning. If we're studying matter as such, we're thinking about spelling. If we're thinking about form as such, we're thinking about the meaning or semantics. So the notion of signs is very important in language. The semiotic triangle. We have sensible signs where meaning, namely semantics, is forced on a sign by some convention. So scholastic terminology would say that the meaning of the words is the form. The way the words are expressed by symbols is referred to as the matter. Now, semiotics is the study of signs. Language is a system of signs. So you, the interpretant, use the word elephant as a sign to signify an object, namely an elephant. There is the thing, the idea, and the word. There's a hierarchical structure here. An idea which represents something presupposes that it is about something, even if it's just some abstract object. And the liberal arts, if studied in this traditional way, thinks about this in a very rigorous philosophical manner. We break things down, where we think about matter and form, where we think about what does it mean to be a symbol, what does it mean to be a sign, what are the different types of signs. So this is an introduction to the liberal arts from a traditional perspective, from a perspective that requires the use of good logic. If you like this type of material, please take a look at my website, amateurlogician.com. I have an extensive tutorial on traditional logic. I also have a newsletter there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and be well.